All right, everybody. It is time for the End of Chaser Spirits and Beer Pairing Show. It is Wednesday, August the 7th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai ducking under the table for some reason. And Mr. Beer Whisperer, Whiskey Whisperer himself in the flesh.
I got a
here
lot
tonight.
of personalities going on in there.
Multiple personalities tonight. He's got both.
You have no idea. It's
Only
not
person
easy being me.
Only person I know who can argue with himself and still lose.
No. I hold stock in that remark.
Oh my.
But I lose with dignity.
There you go. How are you two fine gents this evening?
Okay.
If I was doing any better, I just couldn't stand myself.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So
I liked the pose as if like the paparazzi would go I like that.
My glass only has ice in it. I didn't make my cocktail yet. So
before your ice completely melts, maybe you should make your cocktail. But
I just put it in like before we.
Okay.
So it's only got.
We don't want too much dilution of your cocktail. I've been reading this book on cocktails that is so fucking technical and it's chemistry and all this that I'm afraid I'm learning too much and it's really going to just ruin everything for me.
Gotcha.
So I'm skipping some stuff. So ignore the whole dilution comment. That's part of it. But apparently when you get into the high level cocktails, dilution is a huge part of making the proper cocktail.
Can I go ahead and start drinking before my ice cube melts?
If you'd like, you want to tell us what? We should tell the guests.
I don't know if you're going to talk for 30 more seconds or 30 more minutes. It's really hard to tell.
Well, we do have to tell the guests what our theme is tonight, don't we?
Yes, please have at it, Dave. Tell us the theme of tonight's cocktail.
Lemon.
Okay,
Tom, take it away.
Oh,
no, Tom went away.
No, he thought you said, "Okay, Tom, take it away." He took his cocktail away.
He took his drink away. He went bye-bye.
He listens to you. He's so obedient.
I'm still trying to figure out why.
So I realized that I had part of my garnish, but I forgot the other part of the garnish until you said what the theme was.
Oh, okay.
The theme was lemon, so I forgot the lemon part of my garnish, but my cocktail is a basil lemon old fashioned.
There you go.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Why are you decorated for St. Patrick's Day?
I'm always. This is year round.
Okay.
We take this shit serious in my house.
I like that.
So does that say lave?
To lave.
Love.
To blave.
Love. It says love.
Oh, that's what that.
There you go. So,
looks like an A.
Yeah, no, I know where he's going with that. That's fine.
Tom just turned into a metronome.
There you go.
I like that.
Blave.
Tom is rocking.
Tom is rocking. He is.
The music's always going on inside there. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't. Ever. All right, so Dave, what are you drinking?
Well, I've got to make my cocktail. So I am going to
As do I. So
I'm going to be doing
I'll make mine while you're making yours, and then I'll just tell what mine is. There you go, so.
Well, I'm doing a lemon drop.
Nice.
A lot of people refer to it as a lemon drop martini. It's not technically a martini. It's only called a lemon drop martini because you put it in a martini glass if you care to. I don't care to. I'm not going to use a martini glass. I'm going to use my coupe. And also, people, when they do it, they like to rim the glass with sugar. I'm not going to do that either. I don't need a super sweet cocktail. Right. So I ain't going to do that. So it is vodka, a little bit of triple sec in a lot of recipes. I'm not going to do the triple sec. The reason I'm not going to do the triple sec is I don't want that added sweetness. I don't need the orange in my lemon drop. So I'm going to do the 2 ounces of the 2 parts vodka, 1 part lemon juice.
You squeezing your own citrus?
Yes. I squeeze my lemon till it's
dry.
Don't
let somebody else squeeze your citrus, man. That's just unhygienic.
Squeezing my own too. See, I just want to prove it right there. See,
always squeeze your own juice, man. Don't let somebody else's hand squeeze your juice. Yeah.
I'm gonna squeeze my lemon, baby. Squeeze it till it's dry. And then 1 part simple syrup. Now for this cocktail, I I took a page out of the Whisperer's book, and I made my own simple syrup.
Look at you! I gave you wings.
You gave me wings. We're going to call you Red Bull for the rest of the show. But what I did here is
you're probably better off calling me Blue Balls. That's for another reason.
Red Wings, Blue Balls.
Blue Wings, Red Balls. It's better than Red Wings, Blue Wings, Red Balls, I think. At any rate.
Yeah, moving on.
Tom digressed. We all digressed. We did ours together. So what I've done here is I made more of like a honey water. So this is honey and water.
Mm-hmm.
But I also added lemon peels and lavender to it.
Oh, nice. That's very nice. All right.
This is my lemon lavender simple syrup. And so it's going to be sweet enough without that triple sec. So I'm not going to put the triple sec in, even though I do have it here. And that's actually what I spilled on my foot because I went to taste it and I didn't realize it had nothing in the neck. So it just came rushing out. Came flying right out. And I'm actually going to use one of these. I got one of these just recently. And
a mine?
No,
not stirred. So Dave, that's a common mistake. You're better off shaking side to side than up and down. You're going to get more action. Shake side to side. Shake like this.
Are you talking about?
Shake it side to side like this instead of up and down. Side to side.
Are you talking about the shaker?
Yes.
Okay. just curious.
Well, whatever. Hey, whatever feels better to you, man. Who am I to judge?
Shake it side to side. Apparently, it feels better that way.
Side to side. You're going to get it colder faster.
And we're going to take. They call this a julep strainer. Apparently, this type of strainer. So I'm just going to get this in here.
A common non-bartender mistake. I've been a bartender for about a year, so I'm getting rather pretentious.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert.
So, well, I could have used the Hawthorne strainer, right? That's the other one, Tommy.
Gotcha.
But I figured I haven't used the julep strainer since I got it, so give it a shot. And this is with that honey water. There's a lemon drop right there, and I'm not going to.
That looks gorgeous. That's gorgeous, Dave. That's a beautiful cocktail.
I'm not gonna garnish because I forgot my garnish, just like Tom. But I can't just walk right over there and get it because that's the
I had the basil, but when you said lemon, oh fuck, I forgot the theme was lemon, so I had to put the lemon in there.
There you go.
And,
while John's getting to his, let me go over the ingredients real quick for this one. I used the bourbon Rubenesque from Woodhat because I like to go local. So
is that a big bourbon?
No, it yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It isn't quite local to me, but it is in Missouri. This particular one is a single barrel cask strength at 122.4 proof. Again, the simple syrup. It is a basil lemon simple syrup using basil from my garden, and the bitters is going to throw you off a little bit, but it works. You're just going to have to trust me. I used root beer bitters to really bring out the herbal notes.
Okay. We'll trust you on that. Not much else, but we'll trust you on that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Very nice. And what was this? I missed the one. What was the spirit in yours, Dave?
Vodka.
You put vodka in. I thought so. Yeah. So I made a similar cocktail to you, except it's not vodka.
Let me guess, it's gin.
It's gin. So if you use honey water and gin and lemon, you get a
hangover.
Well, yeah.
there's that. You get happiness, John. You get happiness.
It's a bee's knees.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's a bee's knees.
Cheers.
So cheers.
I was so close.
So yeah. So it's honey water, lemon, good amount of lemon juice, more of the honey water, and then of course even more of the gin, and then you get this.
There you go. Sounds delicious.
I gotta say what I've done here is
yes, it is
completely washed out the lavender by putting the 1 part of lemon juice in. I probably could have cut it back to a half part of lemon juice, but the lavender has been washed away by the lemon. So live and learn. Or just make the
washed away by the lemon.
Or next time, don't put lemon in the simple syrup. Maybe just make it a lavender honey simple syrup.
And add a squeeze
I
of lemon in there.
You know what?
Add just a fresh squeeze of lemon. Yeah.
I probably
Yeah.
would have done that. I probably would have put the lavender and the honey and simple syrup, and then just use fresh juice in the cocktail.
And if
So I
wanna
did something similar last week. I did a test batch of this with the lemon and the basil, and I got too much basil. So when I made the batch today, I made sure I added more lemon to it and less basil, so I could because that basil, if it sits, will take it over.
Yep, and you use fresh basil from the garden, didn't you?
Yeah, fresh
Yeah.
basil. Yeah.
So fresh basil will do that. And I think, well, if I wanted to make this really fancy, what I could have done is shaken an egg white in there, double strained it.
Yeah, like a Boston sour.
Yeah, it had a nice little sour on it, and then
Mhm.
floated some lavender leaves on top. If I wanted.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be very pretty.
That'd have
would've
been
been a very
pretentious as hell.
Oh hell yeah! You could, and you know what? I could have charged $25 for that.
Easily. Two,
There's a
Kerry.
difference between a $15 and a $20 cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, Kerry, come here. You got $25? Sure, here you go.
There you go.
Here's your cocktail. Thank you.
Oh my!
Oh, Brucey.
I'm kind of liking the balance between sweetness and tartness, because like one sip is like, I think that's a little too tart. Then another sip is like, I think that's a little too sweet. So there must be a balance in there. But I think this also probably needs something, maybe some sort of bitters to tie them together, because they're kind of acting separately right now, and you really don't want that in your cocktail. So as much as I'm enjoying this, I'm still going to consider this a fail. And I'll have to try it again sometime and see if I can't dial this one in.
This is.
I will tell you, Dave, though, I mean, it looks beautiful. The color you got there, the way it presents in that glass is absolutely beautiful. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to destroy that. Like I said, the only way to increase its beauty is that layer of foam and some lavender leaves on top.
Yeah.
This is blending really nice together.
Yeah.
The honey, the lemon, the botanicals in the gin and the lemon are complementing each other, and the honey is tying it together.
It's like, wow, you look good tonight. Yeah, you look good tonight.
Lemon, nice.
How's it going?
Nice and yellow. And hard.
That makes my nipples hard right there.
How you doing?
Love your juniper.
I'm gonna go over there real quick. I'm gonna grab I'm gonna go through my bitters and I think I've got some orange bitters, and I think some orange bitters will work on this. I'm gonna drop some bitters in here and see if that helps at all. Be right back.
Fair enough. If that is indeed the case, what bitters do you think he's gonna grab? Orange bitters? You think orange bitters would work?
He says orange, but I'm thinking if you think you need orange bitters, you might have been better off using a little bit of that triple sec, because that would have added that orange.
I know, but I didn't want that added sweetness. Triple sec.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're looking for more aromatics, it makes sense to go with the bitters. But if you're looking for flavor, I'd go the other direction.
This is really just to tie the sweetness and the sour together. It's because they're a little too separated for me.
You know what might, and this in no way, shape, or form is a suggestion to you for you to do that to this cocktail right there. But you know what bitters might actually work interestingly in a lemon drop?
Aztec chocolate bitters?
No. Cherry bitters.
Yes.
Cherry might, yeah.
Actually,
I was thinking grapefruit, but yeah.
But even Angostura bitters would have worked. But I'm liking what the bitters is doing to this.
I like to add my grapefruit to about anything citrus.
Mm-hmm.
But the orange is actually tying the room together.
Yep. Fair enough.
So that's so the bitters is working. So as long as we know bitters work, it doesn't necessarily need to be orange. It could be cherry, it could be Angostura.
Beautiful.
But I think that will work. The only thing with the Angostura is I didn't really want to throw the color off. Angostura can throw color off.
Yeah.
Orange bitters are clear, so I kept my color and got some bitters in there.
Gotcha. Beer. What are we doing?
Beer.
Beer? Are we doing beer too?
That is the second part of the show.
Fuck me.
That's what we do on this show.
I'm going to jump off camera one more time. I'll grab my beer. I'll be right back.
It's
Jason.
I thought he was literally going to leap off of the chair.
Okay, I don't have my glass, so hold on.
You haven't had glass in a while. I mean,
here we go. So I got my glass, and I got my Schilling glass here.
You mean this one?
No, this one.
No, this one.
No, this one.
This one.
This one's mine.
This one's mine.
This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is pleasure. This is for fun.
Uh-huh.
There's no to like. I forget the rest of it, but there's something about this one's.
This
mine.
is my rifle. This is my gun. This
Oh,
is
that's it.
for pleasure. This is for
pleasure. This is for fun.
no, not
No,
pleasure.
no, it's fine. This is for killing.
This is for
fun?
killing. This is for fun.
Yeah,
This is my rifle. It's my gun. This is for.
but then there's something like this one's mine. There's more like it, but this one's mine. I forget the way the rest of that goes.
Yeah, this rifle's mine. There may be others like it, but this one is mine.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
along those lines. I think
Mm.
it's full. I'll have to watch Full Metal Jacket again.
Little FMJ.
Oof, that's a brutal movie.
That was a brutal and a half movie, but always. Oh, it always falls in that category of if there's nothing on TV and I'm scanning around the channels and it's on, doesn't matter what part of the movie it's on.
Oh, remote goes down. Remote goes down.
Right.
Yep. I'm like that way with a bunch of movies. Twister is one of them.
Sure.
That's a hard. Great Escape.
Mhm.
I have seen every second of The Great Escape, just not contiguously. You know, because it's I don't know that you can sit and watch the whole thing. I think it's against the law to be able to do that.
You know what movie I was just talking about with somebody the other day?
What was that?
The Toxic Avenger.
There's an old.
The Toxic Avenger. Wow.
Someone should use. Oh no, that's the.
Okay, I'm ready. By golly.
Like that. And anyway, Toxic Avenger. That's a nice '80s movie. And then she went on to do Howard the Duck, right? She was in that Toxic?
No,
Howard.
there was all like D-level actors in
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger, but
I did pour my beer.
So
yeah.
here's what I had to do. I couldn't find a lemon beer in my neck of the woods that wasn't a sour or an import. You know, I have to be local. So what I did was I got a local German-style Pilsner and turned it into a Radler. So I used my same basil lemon simple syrup, made some lemonade out of it, and I'm turning this into a Radler.
Very nice.
And let me show you what she looks like in the glass there.
Very nice.
There we go.
And I get to use my Mug Club mug, which I don't get to use very often.
There you go. So it looks like you went equal parts on that with the 12 ounces of the beer, 12 ounces of the...
Not quite, actually. So it's a 20-ounce mug. So it's probably 8-ounce lemonade to 12-ounce beer.
There you
There
go.
you go. Very nice. And if I thought of that, I could have done that. That'd have been good, actually.
That's not a bad thing.
I just couldn't find a lemon beer. There was only two. They were sours and one import, and I didn't want to go in that direction.
Well, mine, I went with Sundeck Flex. It is from Two Ton Brewing.
I've heard of them.
Right, in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Maddie and Jim.
Love the Barbieri brothers.
Um,
And Doc. Hey, Doc.
And Doc, their dad. Yeah, it's a Kolsch brewed with lime, so that's what I went. It's lighter beer, and it's got citrus in it, so I figured that would work well.
But lime is not lemon.
It's not, but it's citrus, so
But
we didn't say citrus, show. We said lemon.
Well, the lemon is for the cocktail, not necessarily the beer.
But I thought that was the theme of the show, was lemon.
Well, I didn't have any beer with lemon in it, so
he's sticking to his. He's dying on this hill, John.
I'm just trying to, understand.
I'll be honest with you. I did actually look. I was in several liquor stores today.
Yeah, I couldn't find a.
This is my job, but I couldn't find one beer with lemon.
I got two beers with lemon, and they were both sours.
And I knew I had
import.
this can of Kolsch with made with lime.
See, that makes sense. No, I'm just screwing with you, but
What's interesting is that you bring it up with the lime, lemons and lime. So here's the nerd out portion of the show. Lemons are the acid in lemon is all citric acid.
Mm-hmm.
It's why lemon sticks with you longer. Citric acid is used as a preservative to keep things from browning, and it's why they make sour candies out of citric acid, because it can get very, very, very sour, and it'll last. Limes, if you ever notice, the sour in lime does not last as long. The reason for that is there is some citric acid in it, but there's also malic acid in it. Malic acid is kind of like, it's got a hit and run kind of thing. So malic acid is the acid that you find in apples. So that's why you get that flavor difference. That's also why you get that the sour is a little different, and why the sour doesn't last as long for a lime. That's the science. Yeah, I got that out of that book I told you. That's giving me a headache.
Fair enough.
Gee whiz, you're smart, Dave.
Yeah.
No, I just memorized something, Tom.
he's a pretty fart smeller.
Fart smeller, yes.
Mm.
But what I did is I did pretty much exactly what Tom, opposite of what Tom did. I went so outside of
You
local.
put beer in your lemonade?
Yes. No, I went all the way off to the left coast, and I've got a beer from
Just
Almanac.
today?
No, this beer was actually sent to me, and I've got some for you. There's some of it right in there for you, John.
Yes, I know that tray right there.
This is from Almanac Brewing. It's called Gold Rush.
Mhm.
And what they've done here is they have taken a tart farmhouse ale.
Say that fast 5 times.
Fart farmhouse ale.
Boy, if I had a nickel.
Fart Tom house. Let's go fart in Tom's house.
Yeah.
If you had a nickel for every time you farted in your own house, Tom.
Oh my gosh.
But when they-
It is surprising that my wife has any brain cells left as much as I, fumigate this place.
it's, oh God, it's like a crop dusting constantly, right? But what they've done is they've taken a farmhouse ale, 5% farmhouse ale, and they've aged it in oak barrels with Muscat grapes.
Mm-hmm.
So with the juice actually, and so I figured, grapes have a whole different type of acid. That's the tartaric acid. So I wanted to see how
He is a master of acid.
how many.
Just whatever you do, don't put on any Grateful Dead.
I have dropped so much acid knowledge on this show.
There you go. All right. I see what you did there.
So I wonder what the grapes have to do with lemon.
Well, nothing.
He
But
was
what
just
I
passing along some more acid information.
But I wanted to see how these things paired.
So I'm just thinking that of the three of us, I'm the only one that stuck to the theme.
We'll get you a fucking medal, Tom.
I mean, if you're going to make a theme, I think we ought to stick to the fucking theme. Unless we just say it's a guideline. Since I'm the only one of the three that said, okay, I'll do lemon. I mean, I painstakingly put all this shit together.
Oh, Tom is so badly done too.
Some of you have no idea how OCD works.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you do.
I do. But my OCD doesn't work. You obviously don't either, because OCD works differently in different people.
Mhm.
Like if I go to somebody's house and there's crooked pictures, I'm fixing. That's part of my OCD right there. Things need to be organized. Things need. I
don't have that. I just have things have to be done in a certain order.
You see these albums over here? They're alphabetized by artist, and then within the artist, it is then organized by the year the album was released.
See, mine are organized by genre.
Well, it's genre first, then artist.
You got to put the jazz is over here because you can't mingle the jazz.
No, jazz is
has to be separate.
You can mingus the jazz, but you can't mingle the jazz.
There we go. That's brilliant.
So jazz and big bands up here. I don't have a lot of it because a lot of it's still in boxes in storage. Yep. This is all rock and roll.
Is it still rock and roll?
It's still rock and roll.
To you.
But we like it. It's only rock and roll, but we like it.
Rock and roll, yeah.
That grouping right there.
Are you going to do it all night?
Well, up until about 9, that's all I got left in me anymore.
But this grouping right here, this is the Beatles. The Beatles have their own little category up there, but also because otherwise they'd be down here with all this and it doesn't fit there. So they're all
there's several reasons. There you go.
A lot of reasons because they're the Beatles. But no, what I was really curious is how this was going to pair the different acids and the sour on sour and see how they played with each other.
A lot of acid information tonight out of Dave.
And
enough to make my stomach churn and need some bicarbonate.
Why don't you say it all over again? We'll call it the acid redux. We'll call it the acid reflux.
I like Redux better. It's a good pun. It's a
I
really good
like
pun.
acid redux. That's brilliant.
And one-
Honey, hand me a Tums.
And I've got to get this shirt. There's a shirt out there, and I want to get this shirt. It says, "Intend your puns, you cowards."
There you go.
Anytime someone says "no pun intended," no, intend your damn puns.
No, I mean, I meant that.
You meant it, and
I
I'm
meant
proud.
that.
I'm proud of you for owning that pun. I'm liking this beer. I'm liking this beer a lot.
Oh.
I'm loving how it's playing with this because there's enough tartness in the beer that the sour in this is not killing it. And maybe it's because of the two different types of acid. Who knows?
Maybe it is.
Maybe the blue dot and the red dot.
The acid test.
Oh, it's an acid.
Or the
See
Jack
what I
acid
did
test.
there?
Mm.
Or was it the Jack acid test?
The Jack acid test.
I may resemble that remark.
Okay. No.
Nom, 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 nom.
So now,
I'm glad I got my Prilosec today.
there you go. There you go. Well, I do look. Dave is always one to educate us during the show on some form or facet of what we're doing. So normally it's on the particular spirit or the cocktail. Today it's on the fruit.
It's on the lemon.
It's on the lemon and the acid, therefore, part of.
So sticking to
Part
the
of,
theme.
therefore.
Sticking to the theme with the knowledge portion of the show.
The knowledge portion of the show. Exactly. So, so we actually, this is the first time since Facebook made their next or their last or most current requirements that we're actually streaming live on the End of Chaser page.
Tom, are you okay? Everything just went black. I don't know if Tom blacked out, his phone blacked out. Maybe. Oh, I know what happened.
What happened?
The ninjas finally found him, put the thing over his head, including his computer.
I think his head and the computer.
And I just bought them off, and everything is fine now.
Okay, so you got.
I kicked the little ninja asses, and I'm back.
Good for that, because samurai and ninja do not get along well. So I'm happy for that.
I want to bring one thing up here. No, actually, let's finish this first, and I'll bring it up.
Ninjas or samurai?
Ninjas or samurai? No, both actually.
Pirates? No.
You ever meet a samurai ninja?
There's no such thing. They hate each other.
Some engine.
Some engine.
Well, it was cross.
Ninjas have no
breeding.
honor.
It was cross breeding.
Or a ninja mai.
It was a mixed marriage, and a samurai married a ninja.
That should never happen.
And well, they didn't know because it was drunk. It was late. It was dark. Or shore, and
or some engine.
And they were in Blaze.
They were in Blade. To Blade.
The Blade.
Means you're playing cards and he owes you money.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I could go for a nice mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
Yes,
nice MLT.
Nice and lean.
When the mutton is nice and lean,
yeah.
Very good. That's good eats. All right. So I got to bring this up. We do like to talk about music occasionally, and at some point I do apologize. Now I'm going to have to sneeze because I feel it coming, but hasn't gotten there yet.
God bless you in advance.
Thank you very much. Is that a Saxon T-shirt you're wearing, sir?
It is. So this is actually from my birthday. So it says Saxon and Uriah Heep. So there was
and
a
Uriah Heep.
And you're right. I remember that. I remember when you go into that show.
Mm-hmm.
So the back has the tour dates on it, but yeah. So I did the meet and greet for that show. They were actually here in Springfield, Missouri, on my birthday, the day of my birthday, at a very small theater that holds about 2,000 people, and I was in the third row, and it had a meet and greet. It was awesome, man.
Very
Saxon
nice.
and Uriah Heep. That's awesome.
And I'll be honest with you, I like Saxon. I like Uriah Heep. I like both bands, but neither one was really a major favorite, to be honest with you. But it was on my birthday, so I felt I had to go. But I will tell you, after seeing both bands, I mean, I was beyond impressed. Saxon vocalist Biff Byford, if you can believe the name. I mean, he did not miss a note. I mean, at 73 years old, this guy is perfect, man.
Did he have a sweater tied around his neck?
You would think so, but no. but I'm telling you, he recently turned 73, and I was so taken aback at how amazing his voice was.
That was his pose on the last album.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I just recently saw. Speaking of that age level, I just recently saw Santana in concert.
You did.
Oh wow.
And he is still bringing it. My God. Okay, yeah, he's got to have a sit stool.
Wait, hold on. I just want to clarify. We're not talking about Rafael Santana, right? We're talking about
No. Rafael Santana never really brought it, did he?
well, on the baseball field, kind of, but
yeah, sometimes. No, my God, Carlos Santana was absolutely amazing. He had a drummer. His drummer was in her 60s. The woman laid out a 10-minute drum solo. Never broke a sweat. It was fantastic. Turns out that's Santana's wife.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you if it was Sheila E. because I know she played with him at one point.
No, that was Santana's wife. And then there was this kid on keyboards who busted out this one solo. It was probably about 40. That was Santana's son.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Family affair, and it's one of those shows where, for the most part, I don't dance. I couldn't stop dancing during that show. It's hard to not dance when Carlos Santana really gets going.
There you go.
It was really something else.
Last concert I saw was, I guess it was about 3 weeks ago now, ish, maybe a little longer. Headliner was Foo Fighters.
And you know what? They're doing a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we know they're doing fantastic jobs. Have you seen a Foo anywhere?
There haven't been any Foos anywhere.
Which means they're fighting them. They're doing their job.
They are doing their job. They're fantastic at fighting Foos.
I got a few in my neck of the woods, but they're probably not touring here.
Just call Dave Grohl. He'll come by and take care of that.
But there were two opening acts. The first opening act was Mammoth.
Oh, Mammoth! Really? Wow.
That's a giant name.
It's a very, very large name. Yes.
That was an intended pun, by the way. I intended that pun.
And there you go. And it's Wolfgang Van Halen, right?
Wolfgang Van Halen got it.
And there was, and actually they didn't do it at this show that I saw, but I've seen reels that they've done it a couple of times on this tour, where Dave Grohl came out, halfway through the show, and he says, "You want to hear some finger picking? You want to hear some finger, on the fretboard?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he turns and he starts playing Eruption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And he's playing Eruption. And all of a sudden, he's down to just doing it on one hand. And all of a sudden, he lets go, and it's still playing.
Going.
It's Wolfgang Van Halen playing it off stage.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome.
So, but whatchamacallit? And then
who's the other opening act?
The Pretenders.
Oh, wow. That had to be a hell of a show.
Christy Hine can still rock.
Yep. It was good. It was really cool.
Still gives me a chubby. Nevertheless.
But I'm
just.
But I digress.
but he digresses.
Sometimes I wish I had a filter, but most of the time I just don't care.
Well, I don't have a filter, but I do have
I'd like to blame it on the alcohol, but anybody that's known me for any period of time knows alcohol has nothing to do with the fact I have no filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes from being born in California, Tom.
That could be. It could be the pollution, Dave. You might be right.
Oh, it's the LA area. I didn't know that. Oh man, LA, the only city I've ever been in where you can carve the air.
Oh, we used to have as a kid especially junior high school, we'd have smog days. They'd have to send you home after lunchtime because it was worse in the afternoon, so they'd send you home. They get enough of the day in so it count as a full school day, then send you home.
And luckily for you, that usually would be by either at the beginning of the school year or at the end of the school year, because you had that June gloom was it's called, the LA area. In June, it just gets really bad there sometimes.
No, I don't know what that is.
Then I'm making it up. Okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't grow up in LA. I grew up in Anaheim. I mean, it's a separate county, but we did get a lot of smog. So the LA terms,
I got a feeling if there was something that was June gloom and it was that bad in LA, you would have known it in Anaheim.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think LA.
I've been to LA. I've been to Anaheim. They're not that far away from each other.
No, but they are separate counties. And I always take exception when people want to say Anaheim is a suburb of LA because it is not.
No, it's too far inland. Actually, I didn't make it up. June, it did not. June gloom is a mainly Southern California term for a weather pattern that results in a cloudy, overcast skies. With cool
Okay.
temperatures during
I
late
just don't
spring and early
remember it.
summer. Yeah. There's a lot of things you don't remember, Tom. Like
No,
anytime,
I was drunk a lot in the 80s.
like anytime we come up with a theme, we've got to
Who wasn't?
remind you a couple of times.
I am the only one that put the theme together on this particular show. I'm the only one that used actual lemon for both drinks.
We're the only ones that didn't have to be reminded twice what the theme was.
Hey,
I
take
didn't
it
need to
back.
be reminded. I just
I
had
take
to
it
grab
back.
my.
I'm gonna redo. I want to redux. I want to redo. All right.
What are you
I'm gonna
redoing?
read
with
this
the
here.
beer?
This is a Kolsch brewed with lemon. There you go.
Oh,
Now I
there you
can-
And this farmhouse ale,
Mhm.
as expected, very lemony
Very lemony.
because
go.
of the esters that the yeast throws.
There you go.
Eh.
Lemon esters. Here, wait,
Mr.
Dave,
OC,
Dave.
Mr.
Dave. Give
There
me
you
your give me your beer. Give me your beer.
Hold on. No. I've still got some lemon juice left. Here you go, Tom.
There you
We'll just pour that right in there,
There
and
you
we
go.
will satisfy
There's
Tom's
something
OCD.
seriously fucking wrong with both of you.
Hold on. There you go.
We're just trying to satisfy your OCD.
Now
here,
there's
Tom.
lemon in my
I'm
beer.
just
That's
saying,
good.
I didn't make the theme. This wasn't my theme. Somebody told me what theme it was. I keep suggesting a theme. You guys keep shutting me down.
Well,
So I went
I'm
with the
gonna say
lemon
right
for
now,
both. I had lemon for both drinks, and neither one of you used a lemon.
Tom. I'm going to suggest that you and I come up with the theme for the next show, and Dave doesn't have anything to do with it.
There we go.
Quite frankly, I'd rather just complain about it every show.
No, the thing is,
Well, there's a reason I said that.
there's a reason that we pick the themes is so that Tom can complain because
Yeah, see?
we know this is one of his talents. He's
Yeah, I'm
very,
very good
very
at it.
well.
Just
If
ask
you-
my wife.
If you follow him on Facebook, you will see it's a skill, and this is why we love him because he is so good at it.
Very good at it. But
He
there's
is-
a reason I suggested that, Tom.
Oh,
Dave-
okay.
What is that?
That you're not going to be involved in the theme for the next show.
What's that? Because I'm not going to be on the next
You're not going to be on the next show.
Oh, well, look at that.
I will be. I mean, I may pop in on it. I will be in Vancouver at the time.
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Well,
Vancouver.
I'm saying Vancouver because it's Ryan Reynolds is from Vancouver,
Mhm.
and he plays.
I assume you mean BC,
Yes, British Columbia. Yes.
British Columbia. Yeah,
and not Vancouver, Washington.
No, not the one on the not the one on the Oregon border. But he played Van Wilder, so it's Von Wilder, Vancouver, Von Wilder.
Isn't it Van Wilder?
It might be Van Wilder. maybe that was in honor of Vancouver as well.
And who? There you go. And who played his father in Van Wilder?
Oh, I forget. It's been so long since I've seen that. Who was it, John?
I'll give you a hint. Van Wilder was a movie about
It's about a kid who didn't want to leave college
right.
because once he did, his money would run out.
Did you think? Do you remember another? I mean, there's been many, right? But can you remember another very funny
College
all-time
movie?
classic college movie?
Are you talking about Rodney Dangerfield? Back to
No,
school?
no.
Okay, so we're talking
Animal House?
Animal House.
Animal House.
So was it the guy who played Otter?
That would be correct. Tim.
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
Edison.
Now I remember what you said. Once we got the Animal House, like, it was
Yeah,
Otter.
okay. It had to be Animal House, yeah.
Yep, Tim Matheson. There you go.
Tim Matheson.
And what's we call and that movie, funny as it seems, it was the start of it all as far as that fun game to play, that fun movie game to play, The 6 Degrees of
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, really? That's
Kevin
interesting.
Bacon.
Okay.
Kevin Bacon was in Animal House.
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So, there you go.
He was in Animal House, but another one that got a lot of those connections was Diner,
Yep.
because he was in Diner, and there were so many big names in Diner that between those two movies, there's so many
What
connections.
about, and it was actually Kevin Bacon was actually in the first Friday the 13th.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Yeah, wow.
And then with his appearance in a kind of an advertising one-off thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, that launched him into a whole nother level of degrees.
The biggest movie that he was in that you could connect him to 1 billion actors,
Mhm.
JFK.
There you go. So this
Oh,
is
yeah, you're right.
They
Well,
had
it's fine, yeah.
everybody
I
that was
hadn't thought about
acting at
that.
the
Yeah,
time
you're
was in
right.
JFK.
You're right. Yeah. Wow.
Well, the degrees of Kevin Bacon, I think, has been reduced since it was first introduced, because I think it started off 6 degrees, 5, then it went to 5 degrees.
You
It may
do
be
not
4 degrees now.
You do not
Well, I've
need
always
3
heard
or 4
6,
degrees
but
to
yeah.
get to. Yeah.
No, you don't need 4 degrees.
I can connect my cousin to Kevin Bacon in 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, he was in a movie too, so it helps.
Oh, that'll help. Yeah. So that'll do it. Now I want some bacon.
Ooh, I could go for bacon.
Oh, bacon would be good.
Bacon. There's
only one
I
thing
guess
that
we'll
smells
have to do
like
that
bacon.
as the
There it is,
feature.
bacon. What does that say? I can't read. No,
Oh, that was a great commercial.
that was a great commercial. Anyway, cool. Yeah. So, all right, we've covered drinks. We've covered lemon. We've covered acids. We've covered beer.
Movies.
We've covered movies. We've covered
OCD.
OCD. We've covered music. We've covered a lot
Kevin
in this show
Bacon?
in 45 minutes. And
Kevin
bacon.
Bacon.
And Kevin Bacon. And,
And bacon. By golly. What else is there to talk about, John?
well, you know what? Dave and I actually said this before, and we'll ask you. One of my favorite one movie, and there's many movies. I'll say it in a minute. We were talking about Full Metal Jacket, and Full Metal Jacket's one of those movies for me that if I'm flipping around the channels and there's nothing on, and I get to Full Metal Jacket, doesn't matter where in the movie it is. It could have just started halfway through, 5 minutes left. The remote goes down, I watch the rest of it, right? But there's many movies like that. I actually sat, and I was bored one night, right? I actually sat, and I started making a list of movies that fit that bill. And I literally
you were bored.
I was bored. I was watching movies. I was sitting on a couch, feet up, just a boring Saturday night, whatever, just watching movies, doing nothing, right? And I actually stopped. I got over 100 and I stopped. I mean, I'm done doing this, right? But so there's a lot, right? My favorite movie that fits that bill. I mean, there's many movies that fit that bill. My favorite movie that fits that bill is Shawshank Redemption.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I got to be in a particular mind.
No, and it's not necessarily my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, but
it's not necessarily my favorite movie, but it's my favorite movie that fits that specific bill.
And then
Yeah.
with that,
When you're channel surfing, you see it come on, you have to watch the rest of it.
Right.
yeah, but to me, I've got to be in a particular mindset, so that doesn't work for me. There's because I want in that case, I want movies that are a little more vacuous, not as thought provoking as Shawshank.
Fair enough.
Right. So for me, like I said earlier, Twister fits that bill for me. But I think the number one movie that I just can't turn off if I come across it flipping through channels, Armageddon.
Okay.
That's so much fun. It's such a fun movie. It's like
let's kill Bruce Willis at the end. Fun movie. There you
yeah.
go.
It's kill Bruce Willis, make Liv Tyler cry,
and an orphan.
and make her an orphan. Yeah.
Right.
You've got Billy Bob Thornton's in that. You've got Buscemi's in it.
Ben Affleck.
And now he's done. He's gone and done it again. Whatever.
I think his camera's getting tired. It keeps falling asleep. That's what is going on here.
No, it keeps falling backwards. If you notice,
Is it backwards or forwards?
I don't know. It looks like we get a little view of the ceiling before it all goes black.
I thought maybe.
Maybe I don't know if he's knocking it over.
Don't get racial on me, Dave. Hey, we're black. Anyway,
Fade to black.
I tell you, for me, I'm kind of like Johnny there. It kind of depends on what mood I'm in. There's several movies that fit that bill, but the one that I will always watch no matter what is Miracle. And I'm not even a big hockey.
Oh, hell yeah.
But Miracle, that Miracle on Ice, Miracle. I mean, Kurt Russell should have gotten an Academy Award for his portrayal of Herb Brooks. There's something about that movie that does something for me, especially coming from, at that time in 1980. I mean, that moment in time was so special and so specific to a lot of us. I mean, when I watch that movie, I can catch it 10 minutes in or only 10 minutes to go. I will watch it to the end.
I can watch that movie and get transported right back to February of 1980 watching.
Yeah. You could remember right where you were too when you heard Al Michael say, "Do you believe in miracles?" Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember exactly where I was at that moment when I heard him say, "Do you believe in miracles?"
Now, what's a beautiful thing here, my daughter lives in Florida with her mother. But spring break, she comes up and visits me for the week. And we've done a bunch of things. We did all the New York touristy stuff. And she came up. She's like, I want to see mountains. I'm like, okay, let's go to Lake Placid. I had planned to go to the Lake Placid Olympic Museum. And the Olympic Museum is in the same building as that arena where the Miracle on Ice occurred.
Mm-hmm.
The night before we were scheduled to do that, I pulled up Miracle on the streaming service. I think it was on Netflix. And we watched Miracle so she'd understand what had happened, how important this was. So, and then we went through the museum, and she saw more of it. You know, she saw Roger Craig's goal and his goalie's glove and mask because they're in that museum. She saw the medals they won. She saw the old scoreboard that they used, and you know they set it to have the final score of that game. That's in that museum. And once we did all that, I took her upstairs. We walked through a couple of doors right into that arena. And as we walked through the arena, she looked at me. She goes, "This is where it happened." I said, "This is where it happened." She's like, "This is so cool." So to be able to take your 14-year-old daughter,
Oh yeah, I imagine,
and to have her grasp the importance of that moment for this country, because remember, Iran had our hostages. We had failed at a rescue attempt. We were in a gas crisis. Remember the odds and even license plate thing?
Sure.
America was hurting so bad. We were so down. We were getting pushed around.
people talk about us being divisive now, but it was more then.
It was very, very bad.
If you live through it, you realize how divided the country was back then. And then you had that moment that brought everybody together. No matter what side of the aisle you were on, everybody came together at that moment for this team that had no chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were the ultimate underdog, and that's what America has always been about, that underdog.
And we beat the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
we beat the greatest goalie to have ever, probably to ever live.
Yeah.
The Russian goalie at that time, because their coach made a mistake, he got pissed off at him after the second period
and pulled him. He gave up 2 goals, so they pulled him.
They pulled him, yeah. That wasn't even the finals. That was the semifinals.
That was the semifinals, right?
Yeah, see, that's what a lot of people forget was
we beat Finland in the finals.
That got us to the gold medal game. That was the medal round, and we weren't supposed to make it to the medal round. Nobody thought we'd ever get there. I mean, this was the greatest underdog story of all time, and I feel like it's getting forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's why I felt it very important to teach my daughter and show her.
That's why that movie for me is that movie. Whether I catch it 5 minutes in or 5 minutes to go, I'm watching that film.
Oh, absolutely agree with you. It's just an amazing film. Love it, love it, love it. And there's one moment in that really, really, because there's a couple of like choke down the emotions moment.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that's really hard to choke down that I tear up every time they say it. And it's when Eruzione.
Oh my gosh, I was just going to say that.
And goes,
"Who do you play for?"
The United States of America.
That part,
and you're just
I'm sitting in my chair. My wife's kind of chuckling at me because I do this every time. I start tearing up every time because I know it's going to happen.
That scene.
Who do you play for? Again. When he's saying, Herb Brooks goes again, and these athletes are exhausted, and he says, "Who do you play for?"
Well, the thing is,
the United States.
Coach Brooks doesn't even ask him. He just, because he wants it to end, he just stops and says, "Michael Eruzione, I play for the United States of America." And that's when the coach relents. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, this was in a foreign country. They did this, right? They had he made them keep the lights on in the arena. And then they turn the lights off in the arena, and they're still skating. So when Eruzione,
these guys are puking, they're exhausted,
and they're doing it in the darkness.
And then finally, Eruzione says, "Eruzione, United States of America," and you're going, "Oh my God!" I don't know how you can live here and not cry. I mean, I tear up just thinking about that. It kills me every time. And I've seen that movie at least 100 times, if not more.
Gets me every time, every single time. And I can't help it in that scene. And it's just, and kudos to the movie makers and the director, because we don't know if that's exactly how it happened, but he built up to that moment by having the guy who runs the thing give Herb the keys, turn the lights out, having him exhausted, puking, and then Ruzioni does that. It may never have happened, but they built to it, and they gotcha, man. They got you.
Another moment that was great for me is when they ask him. He says, "I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right player." He wasn't looking for the best because the best can't always work together. He wanted the players that were going to come together as a team.
Oh, obviously, that applies to a lot of sports too. I mean, you can take a team of the entire team is superstars, and then you can take a team that operates so well and keys off of each other, and it's just one cohesive unit. 9 times out of 10, that cohesive unit is going to beat the team of superstars.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Yeah,
absolutely.
And not because
the best players can't always work together. You could take a team of superstars, but they may not be able to play together.
Oh, that's my point. That's my point, right? There's no I in team, right? It has to operate together. You can have
you gotta if you're not able to drop those egos and play to who's better at each specific thing, well, you're gonna lose.
And what was it? There's one Olympics where we put together the dream team. We took the best basketball players we ever had. 92. And they were upset for the gold medal by who was it? Was it Lithuania?
Oh, no, we won in 92, so if they were upset, it was
no. There was one where we lost the gold. 92 might be the first year for the dream.
92 was the first year for the dream team.
But I think in either 96 or 2000, they were upset by another team, which just proves your point here.
Well, somebody's got a computer in front of them.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
Look it up.
I'm looking.
Basketball Olympics upset.
All right, fine. I'll stop looking.
Oh no, you need to look. You might beat me on this one. I don't know. There was something. I can't remember who it was. If anybody's watching and remembers, please let us know.
There was a year, I can't remember what it was now, and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to let one of you guys figure it out.
I don't think it was in 96. 96 was
that was further on down the line.
2004.
2004, and who was it, John?
Lithuania.
It was Lithuania.
Oh, you're right. So you had Lithuania right. You just had the year wrong.
Yeah, but I just didn't get the right year, so I didn't remember.
You just had the decade wrong.
I didn't misremember. Back to that decade.
You just lost a decade. It wasn't 94. It was 04.
So, but then that was So, but that's to John's point. You can take the best players in the world, and if they won't play together, and they don't become a cohesive team, a team that is cohesive is going to beat them.
Yep.
Yeah. You have it.
That Herb Brooks line. I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right
players. Exactly.
And he had the right players. He didn't have the best players. I mean,
and the game-winning goal by Ruzioni.
Oh man!
Only goal he scored in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Only goal. And in the movie, Herb Brooks rides him the whole time. So when are you going to score? I'm going to score when it most matters. That's when I'm going to score. So cheers, man. But Tom, absolutely want.
I think ultimately Ruzioni made the team because he had the ability to bring that team together. He may not have been the best player on the team. He may not have even deserved to be there if you look at the best players that were available, but he was the one guy that made that team cohesive. And that's why he was there.
But what's really weird is I have a memory, and it's a fake memory. I don't know where this came from because the last time I watched the movie, it didn't happen. Because after he said, Michael Ruzioni, United States of America, I could have sworn Herb Brooks turned to his assistant coach and goes, there's our captain.
No.
And it didn't happen. But I remember that, but that's pretty much why he became the captain of the team was because
right there. You knew he was the guy that could bring everybody together.
Yep. So I don't know where that memory came from. Probably that must have been like an acid haze one day. I don't know if it was malic acid, citric acid.
Hey,
or
man,
tartaric
that's
acid.
happened all. I grew up in California in the 80s. Flashbacks are just going to happen, man.
Oh man. So there was a bunch of movies that fits in John's criteria. I had mentioned earlier. Twister was
I'm
one.
glad I can't remember half the things I did back in the 80s.
Nice.
I'm glad there's
And
not photographic proof.
I'll say you're probably. We're all very happy there were not cell phones in our day.
Oh my
That's
God.
true.
Oof, the things that would have been.
I just keep saying I was young. It was Southern California 80s. I needed the money.
Yeah, right there you go.
Oh, we're back to squeezing lemons again, aren't we?
Yeah, we're squeezing lemons. So there you go.
You do what you got to do, man.
What you got to do. One thing I do want to mention, just a side note. Anybody paying attention and was listening before, Dave, you mentioned the goalie and you mentioned Roger Craig. It was
No,
Jim,
it's not
Jim
Roger
Craig.
Craig.
Jim Craig.
Roger Craig is a running
Yeah,
back. for the
I
San
thought of that at the
Francisco
time, but I
49ers.
didn't want to correct him on camera. I wasn't gonna,
Oh no,
Well,
feel free. Feel
Jim-
free.
Jim Craig. Yeah,
Jim Craig.
I don't think he's related to Roger.
Probably.
Roger's an asshole, man.
Is he? You meet him?
I knew a Roger Craig.
Oh, did he not pay you for services, Tom?
That little
No,
motherfucker did
no.
not.
He stole his lemon.
Stole my lemon and never looked back.
There you go.
Oof, that's just rude. And he didn't call the next day.
No.
That some bitch had my number, had my name.
What a mess.
It was like that old joke about the gorilla. Never mind. I'm like, that's rather sexist. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, okay. You gotta tell us when we're doing
No. Bring it back, Tom. It's not 1979.
Reel it in. There you go.
Reeling in the years. Oh, we're back to Steely Dan.
Stowing away
That was the last show.
Who play guitar?
Tom.
Jeff Skunk Baxter.
There it is.
And who does Jeff Skunk Baxter work for now?
I have no idea.
I don't know who he actually works for, but he's like involved in like aerodynamics and like stuff for the government. And
Oh yes, I do remember. Yeah. Who would have thought Jeff Skunk was smart?
right.
Hey, wait a second. Is that why they call it Skunk Works?
Who would have thought the skunk was smart, man?
We might be onto something here.
We just thought he was a good guitar player. It turns out, but I will tell you that Skunk Baxter was the mold for Floyd in Electric Mayhem, the Muppet Band.
Yep.
That,
100%.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, that band was amazing because they honored.
Oh,
so
they
many
were great.
people.
But yeah, Jeff Skunk Baxter was the mold for
I mean,
Floyd.
Oh,
you could look at that Muppet and say, "Oh, that's Jeff. That's Skunk."
That's definitely the skunk, man. He could have sued him.
But the best thing about that band is their looks honored one person, their names honored somebody else.
Mhm.
Right. So they honored so many different people in that band because Janis was named after Janis Joplin, but she didn't look like Janis Joplin. She looked more like
Well, every woman today with the fake eyelashes and the
but it was
the big lips and no eyes. But yeah,
what's her name
I'm sure that's not what they were going for. They didn't realize they were making a look, man.
I think they modeled her after the Mamas and the Papas, the one who's not Cass.
No, oh gosh,
Phillips.
Michelle Phillips.
Michelle Phillips. I think she was modeled after Michelle Phillips, but named after Janis Joplin.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I do think
could very well be.
When you looked at that band, it was just you knew that whoever created those Muppets and named those Muppets knew a little bit about music.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the way she looked, but the way she talked. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. It was.
That makes sense. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I still don't know who they modeled Animal after though.
Yeah. Animal. So,
maybe Bond. So.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be Bond.
Animal had to be patterned after Keith Moon. That is
yes,
my
I absolutely 100% agree. But I think the name Animal maybe derived from Bonzo. I don't know. But yeah, I think he was a conglomeration as well
of John Bonham and
that could
Keith Moon.
That could definitely be. So
could be it.
Dr. Teeth, the leader of the band, who is Dr. Teeth?
Well, I think that they
My thought is Dr. John.
Abso-friggin-lutely, 100% Dr. John. He was modeled after Dr. John, but if you also look at him a little bit, he looked a little. Oh God, I just forgot his name. He looked a little like Bootsy Collins as well.
Yeah, you know what?
A little bit. I'm sure it was definitely more Dr. John.
Oh, definitely more.
Bring
Dr.
that
John.
up. That's actually interesting.
But because they had him speak like Dr. John.
Right.
Yeah,
voice.
yeah. Dr. Teeth, Dr. John. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got that kind of jive down.
And he was on the piano, man. And he
Yeah.
The only other
And
piano
you had
player they had.
Floyd.
Yep, that was so much fun.
Awesome. All right.
Anyway.
Cool. Anyway, all right. We're at an hour.
To segue to the end.
Segue to the end. All right. So 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks from tonight, we have a special show for you.
It'll be our first guest
Our
ever.
first guest ever on the show.
Well, I'll
Maybe
stop you there. I
boy.
just heard from him not long ago, and he may have a conflict, but I'll let you know if we can.
Well, we'll pull it together. Look. If he has a conflict that night, fine. We'll move him to 2 weeks later.
Okay.
All right.
But I don't want to mention it now,
doesn't-
just in case it's an issue.
If he
There's
doesn't,
another-
we'll do the show.
There's another option. If he has a conflict, we can send the ninjas to remove the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
We
That's
can do that.
possible.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do
As long as
that.
it's
All right.
not his family, we don't
As
want
long
to
as
mess
it's
with
not.
it. If it's a family thing, we're not going to mess with that.
We'll do what we can do. I mean,
Unless it's an actual conflict, then yeah.
I
Unless he
might know
wants
a guy. I might know a guy.
And we don't want to mess with family unless he wants us to.
Unless he wants us to. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Some people, you never know.
But you Jersey guys probably know a guy more than I do.
Oh, we know.
If the shows that I've seen are correct.
It's plural. We know that.
We know a guy's.
We know some guys.
Yeah.
All right.
You
All
Jersey
right.
folks
You
may
gotta
be
pick
more disreputable than I am.
We don't know the best guys. We know the right guys.
We know the right guys. Exactly. All right. On that note,
Yeah, no.
we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website. All the End of Chaser info will be posted on the Logger Room website. That's www.loggerroom.com.
Logger Room Guys website.
The Logger Room website. It's
That's right, the Room Guys.
www.loggerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media. At the moment, it's just Facebook. So like us and follow us on Facebook at And a Chaser. And of course, all the shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on Facebook and YouTube every other Wednesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you that want to just listen to the audio podcast, you could do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the End of Chaser podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful 2 weeks, and we'll see you in a couple, folks.
Cheers.
Cheers.